When we demonstrate a willingness to explore the possibility of a higher existence, little unexplainable things begin to happen. For Ian Clayton, his faith and his relationship with God are unconditional. Let's watch how this part of Ian's story shows us just how unconditional faith can be, and just how big the unexplainable can appear.
Transrelocation is where God will physically or spiritually remove your body and put you into a different place in either this time or in another time. And part of my experience has been that process. And it's come out of my desperation to want to know all who God is and what He is and about all that His kingdom had. And in the Bible, the first record of this is in Ezekiel, where he was transported some 1,500 miles from one place and put into another. Then there's Philip in the New Testament. And so if they're in the Bible, as far as I'm concerned, they are supposed to be accessible to the Christian's life as be part of our normal living daily life. And this kind of thing is happening to many more people than what has been currently, I believe, let loose in the body of Christ. And so it's a fantastic thing to have happen. And it's been going on with me now for some 11 years. And I too have kept it very quiet, because who do you talk to about this kind of thing? But I know that God is moving in this way, and it's a fantastic thing for others to begin to share some of the experience in these areas. In some of the early experiences I had, I always hungered for physical evidence of the transrelocation. What transrelocation is a moving from one place to another through the realm of the kingdom. Usually there's a tunnel of fire that will form, and usually a white cloud of glory will come and shift me. And so in that process, I learned to recognize some of the signs, and I was never able to look back to see if I'd physically gone, but I had certainly gone. And so I think in the early experiences I had, I ended up in a desert talking with an Indian man in this country here about the kingdom, and he was an old shaman that had been wanting to know about God, and God put me with him to talk with him for about an hour. On my way back, going through the portal that opened up just in the atmosphere around me, through the door where there's a tunnel of fire that I go through, I reached down to get a hand of sand to take it back with me, and the Lord spoke to me very clearly. He said to me, if you take that back, you will never go again. And so I dropped the sand, and consequently for about 4 years I never had any physical evidence, although I had been on numerous trips. And so it then came to a stage for me personally where the development process began to happen. And so this is some 4 years ago now. I went on a journey with God in through the tunnel of fire, down through the process there, and I ended up in an eastern country somewhere where there was gunfire going on, and there was a mother and 3 children in this house, and there were machine bullets going off. I walked through this door that had opened up in the wall, and she looked at me, and I said, I've come to help you, come. And I was speaking a foreign language but talking in English in my head, and she spoke to me in her language and said, who has sent you? And I understood in English in my head what she was saying, and I spoke to her again, and I said, God has sent me, come. And she was obviously a Christian because of the way she responded, and her face lightened up. And she came with me through that door. Now, I don't understand why there's a door in a wall, and you have to walk down through a tunnel back over some walls. And so, anyway, this is kind of the things that God does. So what happened was I lifted her, 3 children up, and then her up over the edge of this wall. I went to jump up to get over the wall, and my hands slipped off the edge of the wall, and I hit myself under the chest, and I fell backwards down onto the pavement. When I hit the pavement, I found myself back in my room, bent over with pain going across my chest. Then I went to bed, and in the morning I woke up, stood up out of bed, and there were these graze marks with a great big blue line underneath my chest. And so there's physical evidence, very much so, that this stuff happens. And I know there's many, many Christians who have experienced these things but are too afraid to share them because of the ridicule of the church. Heaven is accessible to the children of God, and it includes the whole dynamism of the realm of the kingdom, and this is just one of those parts.